Hi Aries, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your July 2024 tarot reading. Thanks to those of you who've liked, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, the Celtic Cross spread as always. And I also pulled 4 agreements and wisdom oracle card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus should be as far as that goes. Alright, so we have 7 and 7th house energy for you guys is Libra. Astrologically speaking, we do have the South Node there, but other than that, it's pretty quiet. I do see Libra energy in your main spread as well. Alright, we have Scorpio, and for you guys, Scorpio is your 8th house, which points to death, rebirth, intimacy, and investments. Pretty quiet there, astrologically speaking, as well. And we have the sun, so of course the first few weeks of July we'll have the sun in Cancer, which is your 4th house of home, roots, mother, and then it'll be moving into Leo around the 3rd week of July, and that's your 5th house of romance, creativity, and children. Alright, so with that out of the way, we'll get started with the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the 2 of Swords, which is Libra energy, and then challenging that we have the Chariot, Cancer energy. So, to me, this could just be saying that maybe you've been trying to make a decision around a partnership. Now, yeah, it can be a romantic partnership, given that we saw 7th house come up for you guys and the dice as well. But generally speaking, 7th house is not just romantic partnerships, could be contracts and partnerships of all kinds. And then with the Chariot in a challenge position, could just be saying that you might be feeling a nudge from the universe this month to actually make some kind of a decision one way or the other. So if you really have been trying to weigh the pros and cons for a long time, looks like the energies this month are going to nudge you to make a decision. Alright, in the foundation position, we have the 4 of Wands. So this is Aries energy here, and definitely a positive, supportive energy, right? It looks points to growth, expansion, luck, happiness, and is a fellow Aries card, so given that it's a card for your sign too, that's another positive to see this in the foundation. But yeah, it looks like maybe that's what's at play, depending on what this decision is that you make. Alright, in the past position, we have the Emperor. So yeah, it could just be saying in contrast to the 2 of Swords energy we see in the main situation in the past, given that this is the major arcana card for your sign, could just be saying in the past you felt a lot more comfortable making decisions, right? You might have been a lot more decisive, quicker to make decisions as well, but for whatever reason, now it looks like something's changed between the past and now. Alright, in the present position, we have the 9 of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here. And yeah, maybe for some of you, why you could be taking more time this time around, as you might feel like in the past, maybe making decisions that way might have gotten you burned, right? So maybe now you're like, okay, yeah, maybe just jumping into things more quickly in the past didn't always play out the way that I'd hoped. So now you're trying to take a much more measured, calculated approach in your decision making. But yeah, like I said, it looks like you just might be feeling nudged to make a decision this month. Alright, in the near future position, we have the Ace of Wands. So yeah, this looks like a good indicator that you're going to get an idea that comes to you this month on how to take action around the situation, and it's really going to improve your situation. So some of you just could represent finding a way to consolidate all the things you have been doing, right? So for those of you who've just been taking on too much, I'd just be saying that maybe you find a way to consolidate all that, or at least you figure out an approach where you're like, all right, you know what? Instead of trying to do everything at once, let me just clear my slate and do one thing at a time and just build momentum that way. But either way, it looks like you're definitely going to get some insight around a different approach this month, which is going to help out your situation. Alright, in the position of your influence in the situation, we have the 6 of Wands. So this is actually a Leo energy here. And yeah, so for some of you, maybe this is just pointing more to a timeline, saying that when we get into Leo season toward the end of July, you might start to feel this energy more. But either way, this energy typically points to success and recognition. So whatever the shift is that you are going to make, and this decision that you finally make, it looks like it will propel you forward in a positive way. Alright, in the environment position, we have the Five of Swords. So this is actually Aquarius energy here. Yeah, it could just be saying that maybe within your friend group, for example, there might be someone who's not too happy to see that you're shifting gears here and experiencing success. So there's something to be on the lookout for there, right? I don't think it's going to derail you in any way, but it's something to be mindful of, right? Which is to say that even though it looks like things will be improving for you, just know that maybe not everyone in your circle is necessarily going to be happy to see that. Right. In hopes or fears position, we have the High Priestess. So yeah, this could just be saying that for some of you, this is actually more of a hope, right? Where you've been hoping to tap into your intuition more, because like I said, if you feel like you might have been acting more impulsively in the past and it was backfiring on you, that could be part of why we do see the artwork here with the back turned to the water, blindfolds, the heart crossed, right? Could just be all things pointing to saying that, you really wanted to tap in and really just make a well-informed decision this time around. All right, and in the outcome position, we have the Three of Cups. So this is actually a Cancer energy here. So I was saying here, maybe this is a timeline for some of you, saying that you might start to see these successes come around the Leo season. But given that this is a Cancer energy and it's an outcome, for some of you might even come sooner than that. So definitely a positive here. But yeah, generally speaking, Three of Cups could point to recognition, success, just reconnecting with siblings, parting with friends, you name it. So there's a lot of different ways it could play out, but it definitely looks like a positive outcome for sure. And to me, it is related in some way to that Six of Wands. All right, and bottom of the deck, we have the Devil. So this is actually the major arcana card for Capricorn. So yeah, maybe for some of you, like I was saying, maybe you were taking on too much, right? So maybe for some of you, this was more of a career thing, where you were just doing too much in your career environment. You're like, okay, I know this isn't really sustainable, but how can I work around that, right? So you guys had Pluto in your sign for a really long time, and it's actually backtracking back toward Capricorn again. So having it in, excuse me, I meant to say in your 10th house. I don't know if I said that before, but yeah, so you had it in your 10th house for a really long time. It's backtracking its way back toward your 10th house. So it could just be one of those things where you might start to feel those themes bubble back up to the surface again. And it could just be why you're being called to look at it again and actually just make a decision this time around so you could get the forward momentum you need to avoid falling back into that trap again. All right. From the four agreements, we have don't make assumptions. It says assume nothing. Let's see if I can get this to focus a little better. There we go. It says in any kind of relationship, we can make the assumption that others know what we think, and we don't have to say what we want. We assume they're going to do what we want because they know us so well. If they don't do what we want, we feel hurt and think, how could you do that? You should know. So yeah, interesting message there. Usually I wouldn't take Aries energy as a whole to be the type to make assumptions and be a little bit more quiet around what their wants and needs are, but maybe you did at the very least feel yourselves in that energy for a little while with that Two of Swords energy. Maybe this is pointing to you getting that spark back, right? So yeah, maybe it's as simple as all these wands energy pointing to a progression that as we get closer to Leo season, which is a more supportive energy for you as a fellow fire sign, then you're going to be feeling more like you're back to yourselves. Right, from the Wisdom of the Oracle, we have Round and Round. There's the artwork, and the number is 25. Let's see what that has to say. Right, essential meanings says the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated, cycles you are challenged to break, revisiting a pattern from a new perspective. The Oracle's message. The appearance of this card is a reminder that although it may appear as though you've gone backwards, the truth is that you are standing at a higher level looking down into your circumstances. You will learn something, do something better, and break a cycle set up in the past. You actually have a bird's eye view of your initial footprints and can access the wisdom and lessons learned. So yeah, definitely a good message there, right? Especially like we said, it looks like there's some decision that you're trying to make. And like I said, it looks like you this might be a little bit gun shy because maybe you feel like you've been burned in the process before. So now you're trying to take a more measured approach. But I feel like this is saying that you could also count on the experiences that you've had in the past to help inform your decision. So, for example, he's holding on tight to that one wand, but there's 8 more behind him. That would say that, you have because you've had those experiences, even if they were failures, you can trust that you've learned from them, and so you're already in a better position when you make your next decision. All right, the relationship message says, are you wondering how did I get here again? Does something feel familiar right now in your dynamics with others? Maybe a little too familiar? Don't be surprised that you found yourself repeating an old story with the same sort of person who may not look similar, but who attracted you because of your easy acquaintance with his or her qualities. Your relationship is a mix of what is good and what is potentially challenging. You have been drawn to this person through the perfection of Spirit's plan for your evolution. You may have circled back to an accustomed spot, a familiar place, but that's fine, as you get to do things again, only differently this time, for you learned something of great value since the last time around. How will you choose to behave now that you're aware? Remain curious and stay out of the blame game. So yeah, definitely a positive message there as far as growth, which like we said, it looks like something is going to shift for you as far as a change in perspective, and then looks like that will lead to some success and celebration. So hopefully that resonated. And the prosperity message says if you're in a scenario that appears to be an echo of something that's already happened in the past in your work life, it's because you're being invited to see what you couldn't see before. This is a perfect time for you to look at the deeper motives you have and your attraction to the opportunities and people who have entered your life to be part of your journey to prosperity. Who helps you navigate? Who sabotages you? Who supports you? What are the familiar signs and your responses to them when you find yourself in a repeat of a pattern of the past? It's a good time to get a coach or mentor who can help you see what you can on your own. Repeat what works, not what doesn't. Then you will free yourself from the old cycles and cease going round and round. So interesting message there when it talked about who sabotages you, given that we do see the 5 swords in the environment. So that might have to be something you might need to take the blindfolds off on and take a look at there, right? But regardless, looks like things will be moving in a positive direction for you guys. So I feel like you could feel pretty confident with whatever decision you make. So hope whatever resonates with you guys, wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.